Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Here with my BFF and heterosexual life mate, Neil, our Chief Marketing Officer here at ASP. And I want to talk today, we are setting up for days 3 and 4 of evidence-based pistol skills in Fort Smith, Arkansas. And I want to talk to you about the benefits, the pros, and the cons of shooting steel. Today's video is brought to us by Mantis. The Mantis family of products is integral to ASP staff building handgun and carbine skills and are your most economical and fastest path to improvement in your skills too. Whether you choose the X10, the Laser Academy, the Blackbeard, or use them all in concert, they will help your practice be more effective, efficient, and fun. Go check them out, pick up a unit, and thank them for sponsoring today's video. So one of the things that we get to do out here that we are working on in days 3 and 4, we get to use this really cool trigger interactive system that gives us visual cues and sets them up at random, and people can shoot all kinds of stuff, and it shoots it on steel and it recognizes when it's hit, and then it goes down, so it gives us other kinds of stuff. But I'm talking about generally shooting steel. I mean, you like shooting steel, right?
It's fun. Yeah.
Okay, so
Number one pro.
number one pro.
It's fun.
It's fun. Why is it fun?
The ping.
Ah,
the ping is fun.
See, okay, here's the biggest pro of shooting steel, you get immediate feedback,
Yep.
right? So you can make the target size anything you want. Out here, we've got basically expanded C-zone steels is what we have, right? So we have basically A and C zones. And so you can get, did I get a kind of at least marginally acceptable hit? And you get immediate auditory feedback for that. You get a yay, ding,
Yep.
or you get,
Yeah.
you suck. Like, and that's it.
Oh no, you suck again.
Oh no, you suck again. And it's super fun to go ping, 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 ting, 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 right? So you get that immediate feedback. Did I get an acceptable hit? Did I do my job? And I think another pro of shooting steel is because it's so durable, I can literally put my targets out here and shoot them all day.
Yep.
And yes, I might want to paint them or something like that, so I've got a little bit more hit accountability. But I can also, if my hit desire is the size of the target, I can just shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot, and I don't need to worry about stopping, pasting, putting up new targets. You know, on paper, of course, you know, you shoot it 30, 40 times, depending on the size of the target, you probably don't get any more feedback on where your round went.
Right, because you're so full of holes and your target is all chewed up at that point, you really don't know where stuff's going.
Right.
So.
Whereas on the steel, you always ping, ping, ping. Oh, got it,
Yep.
got it, didn't,
Yep.
okay? I see other advantages to it as well, again, because I can set targets at different lengths and do that really easily and still get the feedback. I get the same amount of feedback from a target at 100 yards as I get from a target at 7 yards.
Right.
And that's a function of the, you know, again, the ping. So I get that same level of feedback. Whereas with paper targets, I get a lot of feedback on a target maybe at 5 yards because I can see where the round went, but that target at 25, 30,
you don't know where
40
they're
yards,
at. Yep.
best of luck, you're not gonna see it, right? So I don't get any feedback. I can have plus or minus things.
There's a plus to that in that now you're not chasing your shot, you know, because what I see a lot of times is, you know, even at 5 yards, you see a bang, and then they look to see where they hit. Bang, and look at 25 yards. If they can't see that, that goes away to some degree.
Now then, let's talk about the cons though, okay? Because I think we gotta talk about cons as well. Number one, I think the feedback is actually a con too. Because in real defensive gunfighting, how many times have we seen somebody get shot and then they don't do anything, but they still got a hit?
Right, yeah, you know, bad guys don't ping.
Yeah, bad guys don't
unless
ping.
you're hitting, unless they're wearing something that pings, and in that case, you got a bigger problem.
You got a big problem. So that can be a problem as well. Secondly, it does think if you're really working on like your shot calling, right? You should know whether it hit or not. When you get past the kind of beginner stage, you're getting into the high intermediate stage to the low advanced stage of handgun shooting, I should know where did my sights lift?
Yep.
And so I saw it. I don't need the ping. And it takes time for that audible signal to come back to my ears for me to recognize, aha, that means I got a hit, which if I'm working target transitions and stuff like that, simply slows me down.
Exactly, yep, that's it. Right.
So that's an issue. Of course, there's a couple other issues. I think number one, standoff distance, SPUL.
Yeah.
This is the thing, right? You know, I almost lost an eye at a shooting steel match in Panama.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, if you've shot steel much, you've got some scratches, you've bled, you know, and it isn't because you're too close in some cases. Because, you know, I was at a range one time. Well, we were teaching a class out in Texas one time, and somebody was sitting back 40 yards away and came up with a piece of steel that just scratched up her arm pretty good. And I remember that. I don't remember that was his name, but you know, that's the thing. You have to wear glasses is a 100% must, even if you're in the background. And it should be anyway, but a lot of times you'll see somebody that comes up to check out the class, and you have to stop and say, hey, you got to get some glasses on because this is dangerous stuff.
Yeah, so that is an issue, right? Spall is an issue, and especially if you're shooting at steel that has any deformation in it at all, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes people will shoot steel with rounds that are too big for it, so it starts to pockmark and things like that. Now you're really going to have problems with spall. Second thing is heavy, right? And it's a pain in the butt to transport.
Yeah, you don't. We're in Arkansas, and I mean, I had to drive down here because there's no way you're going to fly with 6 steel targets. It just weighs too much. You don't want to ship them and then ship them home and all that kind of stuff. There's that added expense. It's heavy. It's if you're not within driving distance, you either need to line something else up or you got to use paper.
Yeah, and so we usually would recommend our partners Throom targets. We love Throom because they've got a lot of the benefits of steel without the cost of steel. It's not heavy like that. It doesn't have the spall problems and those things. But there is a value enough in actual steel that we use it on the range too.
It's, we use it for shotgun, we use it for pistol. There's a lot of different things that you can do with it that makes it, it's just robust enough that you don't spend your entire day up refacing targets or putting up new backers, or especially if you're shooting shotgun.
Shotguns, man.
Now you don't want to shoot this with buckshot. You use birdshot on them, and you want to make sure you're stood off to the right distance and all of that kind of stuff. But man, shooting steel with a shotgun's actually kind of fun too.
Make sure, if you're going to shoot steel, follow your standoff distances, okay? The ricochet problems and the spall problems, if you're inside 7 yards shooting pistols, man, you can really get hurt.
Yeah.
If you're inside 25 shooting rifles, man, you can really catch some spall and really hurt yourself, okay? So make sure that you're following safe use guidelines and not messing with that. And when we're starting to shoot rifle rounds, you'd better have some hard steel, man, because those little fast movers will get you.
Well, that's the thing, and I don't know the guy I got these from. I bought these used from a guy that just was moving on, and he's like, hey, you don't want to shoot this with big rifles because it's not rated for that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I shoot mostly pistol and a little bit of shotgun at them. That's going to be great. And they've worked great for me, but that's something to know what the rating of your steel is so that you're using the right target so you don't ruin your stuff, because they're expensive too. That's the last one that I would add to it.
Yeah, they're expensive.
They're not cheap. Now they last a long time, so maybe comparatively speaking, depending on how many paper targets you go through, but you can go through a lot of paper targets before you pay for one of those.
It's true. All right, so we're going to play one little game here for you because it's steel, and you can't, you don't want us to just stand here and talk about steel. You want us to shoot them. Right? So here's a game that we like to play. It's just a little competition, and if you can't compete with your BFF, who can you compete with, right? So here's what we've got. We've got a piece of steel up here at right about 10 yards from our firing line, okay? And we have another piece of steel back there at 20. So it's twice the distance. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to allow the person on the long side steel to be in a depressed muzzle position with the gun in hand. So they have to wait till they can sense the person next to them going for their gun. Okay. So the person that is here is going to start their draw and try to hit the close steel. The other person who is here at a compressed ready position, they have to, when they sense that, then bring their gun up, acquire their sights, and hit the 20-yard steel. And how will we know who gets it first? Who gets the ping?
Hear it. Yep.
Who gets the ping? Right, which one do you want to start on?
Dealer's choice.
All right, I'm over on this side. I'll start over here on this side.
All right.
Can you see that side? I think you can. Okay, so I'm going to come here, not from ready. There's my dot. Everything looks good. So I am in a depressed muzzle position.
Jeez.
Look at that big.
This is fun. You shouldn't be depressed.
It's true.
And so then you're going to go on my movement.
So I'm waiting for your movement to go.
Okay. Did you see that airplane up there?
I did.
What kind is it?
It's a Citation, actually. Ooh, I think that was a tie.
Ooh.
I barely touched mine, though. Barely got it. All right, let's try it again, because that was pretty close.
You weren't looking at the airplane like I was hoping.
I know, right? Oh, you got me there. I lost my dot on the way out. Straight up, I lost my dot. One more from this position, and we'll switch. Same thing. Wow.
Geez, I
missed.
I went right over both shoulders.
Yeah. All right, let's switch it up.
Okay.
Gonna give him the opportunity to beat me on both sides then, All right.
So you started at a compressed?
I started with my muzzle depressed down towards the ground here,
like so.
Something like so, right? It made me, that I couldn't see my optic, right?
Ooh. Yeah, from a low ready, this would be easy. I crush
from a
you.
low ready, it's a slaughterhouse all day long. It's not a fair fight. All right, you ready?
Yep.
Yeah, You got me. It's just because I missed.
Man, my glasses, I can barely see you.
If I sucked less, this would probably be a fairer fight. Jeez, if I could see my sights and actually hit a darn thing, this game would be fun.
I'm having a blast.
Yeah, no
What
kidding.
are you talking about? This is a great game.
This game is amazing.
Let's play this all day.
All right, come on, Korea. How you doing?
I thought you were just practicing.
Let the record show I at least won one. At least one. I at least won one. Good shooting, dude. This is the kind of stuff that's fun, right? So you can just get out there, go to work, have some fun, get the ping, just know the costs of it. And I think steel's fun to shoot.
It's a blast. I just think, like you say, you got to know the cost, and the cost isn't just dollars, it's the rest of it. Know what you're doing, know it so you can do it safely. Because, I mean, if you're not wearing glasses when you go out, or if you're doing something silly and get hurt, it's no fun when you get hurt.